Hello everybody, Sean Milburn here with Milburn Motorsports once again today, here to bring you guys a bit of an update about what's been going on with the 370Z. So my father and my brother took it to Sonoma Raceway last weekend and it came back on a flatbed. Unknown to me at the time, I was on a trip in Florida, that's why you guys haven't seen a post in a while, but the post should be coming back regularly now that I'm back. The motor actually blew up in it. So they had starved it of oil on the track. It wasn't topped off before they went to the track. They didn't check it. So when they were out there tracking it, they were just doing some lead follows and now it won't even turn over. The motor's completely seized. It's completely toasted. So we're waiting on a new motor. We actually just ordered one today. So we got to it real quick. It's going to be coming in. It's a 40,000 mile motor. It's out of a G37 automatic, so we're really hoping that it's in some pretty good shape and that we'll actually be able to have a nice healthy engine to put back in the Z, because the healthier the better. This thing had like 125,000 miles on the original motor, so putting on with 40 in it sounds like a good plan to me. It's a little upsetting that it came to this, but we're gonna learn from it, use it as an experience, and hopefully get this thing working even better than it was before. All right, so we're inside the Z now. I just wanted to show you guys that it won't start. So we're gonna go ahead, try and turn it on, and then start it. Each time I try and start it, you can hear that click. Yeah, the starter's trying to go, but the motor's just completely seized. It'll just stall itself before it even tries to turn on. So, thanks for bringing my car back in one piece.
It is in one piece, it's just broken.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't any of their faults. It just kind of happened that way. I mean, it really sucks that nobody checked the oil, but I mean, nobody was really thinking to check it. It's just a street car they were trying to take out to the track and didn't know that it was eating oil, most likely from the engine just being so old, with 125,000 miles on it. So this new fresh one should work really well. Hopefully we'll be able to mitigate the issues with that oil consumption in this new motor.
Yeah, this will teach other people if you're watching this. Don't take this stuff for granted, because that's what I did. You know, Sean's pretty good about watching his car. I borrowed it. I should have done what I would normally do with the race car, check the water, check the oil, check the tires, you know, do the normal routine. You know, I didn't do that. My bad, right? So, but we'll make it all better.
Yep, so we're gonna start a little series here on rebuilding the Z. We'll show you guys what we have in store for doing to it. We're not gonna do anything too crazy to the motor, but we're just gonna update the pieces and parts that tend to fail on these cars so that it won't fail, and we'll be able to get it back in tip-top shape, ready to go. So we have the engine on the stand now. We're just checking it over and making sure that we're actually getting what we paid for and not a blown up, smashed up piece of junk. So we took off the oil pan and we actually found that this pickup looks like it's been kind of like pried open by something. So that's a little concerning. The pan looked a little smashed and bent.
Yeah, the pan looks smashed. I think whoever owned the car originally must have driven it off of something and smashed the pan, and
was it wrecked? When was the car wrecked?
The car was wrecked, yeah.
Well, that might have been part of it too.
Yeah, but somebody was in there. It might have been done at the junkyard where the guys are like, hey, listen, this pan's really smashed, and they opened it up and found that the end of the pickup was...
But why would they seal it back off?
Because that's what they do.
Oh, okay.
So now we're checking the plugs. We didn't find any debris or anything in the bottom of the pan. A couple of little plastic chips, like off the corner of a guide or something, but I'm not horrified by that. That could be in anything, anywhere. One little chunk looked like glue, actually.
Yeah, so we just have to keep inspecting the motor. We're currently just stripping it of all of the old wiring harness that's not going to be used, and just making sure like all the seals along the edges look factory, so it kind of doesn't look like anybody's been here messing with it.
Yeah, it doesn't look messed with, except the oil pan.
Yeah, except the oil pan. And then there's this clamp on this hose over here that's also not factory. So, not sure what that's about. Not really sure what the history of this engine looked like. Yeah, we're just gonna keep plugging away and once we find something else, I'll come back. Update on the car. Got the bumper and the hood off, drained the oil out of it, and it only had about maybe 2 quarts of oil or something.
Maybe.
Yeah,
And
like
it's all burned.
being generous, so I mean that really sucks. And this motor over here looks like the people at the junkyard that were getting it out and handling it really didn't give a shit, because they were just like, the oil pan's all scraped up and shit. Like if you go over here, they got all that crap scraped up, like they were just dragging it across the ground. There's like some gravel and shit on it. So, and they also bent this piece by dropping the thing on the ground at some point over here. So now we're gonna have to try and locate another one of these. Yep. I was hoping to be a little smoother than this.
Well, this is just the beginning. I mean,
Yeah, it's the beginning and it's already looking like a headache.
that's the way projects go.
Crash bar's off, so now we're trying to get the bottom radiator hose undone so we can drain all the fluid out. See that oil cooler there? Super big. Works really well. Well, here it goes. Nice.
Open the cap.
Open the cap. Okay.
Yeah. Radiator cap.
Yep. Where is it? There we go. So this is where we're at in the project. We got the whole front end off, the radiator, oil cooler, crash bar, all of that good stuff. So we can see the motor exposed here now. And just looking at it, I mean, just like, look at how clean it is. It's a real big bummer that this motor has to come out. It's definitely died before it should have, which is pretty upsetting. But I'm hoping the new motor will be just as good, if not better. That's the hope. So we'll just see how that goes once we end up eventually getting it in. Getting this to this point took us 4 hours. Yeah, about 4 hours. So I mean, it's not too bad. Not too bad. I feel like we could have done it a bit faster if we knew what exactly needed to be done. This was actually one of the hardest parts, getting these AC lines off. We actually had to go down and get the proper tools for that because it was not gonna work unless we had that. But yeah, so I need to disconnect the headers from the cats and then start unplugging all the sensors, and then we can start trying to get this thing out of here. So that might happen this weekend, if not next. I got a lot of parts I need to order, and then we'll just keep plugging along. It's gonna be just a work in progress. I'm not trying to rush anything, because the more you rush, the more things can go wrong. So I'm not trying to do this job again anytime soon. So do it right the first time so you don't gotta do it again. So we're pretty far along with getting the motor out of the car. The wiring harness was really extensive to be able to just disconnect everything. I mean, you can just see there's hoses and like just wires everywhere. So that took a while, but we're at the stage now where we got all the straps on the motor, good to go. Came up with a little contraption here.
Yeah, made some made some little custom hooks to pull this thing up out of here so it wouldn't bend or screw anything
so
up.
So hopefully those don't just strip right out. I mean, hopefully not, but maybe we should figure out another way to support it. But we'll figure that out when we get there. For now, we're gonna take the last few bolts off, make sure everything clears, and then we'll get this hooked up, see if we can start it out the front, and then we'll be good to go. All right. So we got it out.
Came right out.
Yeah. Very nice, very nice. Gives me a chance to clean the engine bay too.
That's one of the problems is we had to get off this stud. Didn't realize.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
All right, let's get this motor.
Yeah,
Biscuit.
we're gonna move it.
The motor home the farm. Watch those toes and working in the shop with flip flops on.
It just came in the mail.
Yeah, look what just came in the mail, guys.
Wow.
Yeah. So Calvin and I put these together. So when we go to Laguna Seca next weekend, we have some cards to be handing out. So if I have any extras at the end, we'll see if there's any extras. Yeah, you can see they're two-sided. These turned out really nice. So any of them that don't go while we're at Laguna, perhaps I'll give them away to you guys. So you can see getting the motor out of that car was kind of a pain. It's really tight in there. Like here, take a look at the engine bay. So you can see there's not a whole lot of room to work with in here. It's kind of a small compartment to fit a pretty considerably large motor for being a 6-cylinder. I mean, it is a 3.7 liter, but it went pretty good. If you have any questions about what we were doing in that whole process, go ahead and leave a comment down below. I read all of my comments. If you're trying to pull your own motor or you have any questions about what we were finding, I can share that information with you upon your request. This is going to be it for this video. It's just pulling the motor out, getting everything out. Next one's going to be getting these two motors sorted out properly, getting the extremities off of the old motor onto the new motor, and then we're going to go from there. So that'll be the next video. If you like this one, leave a like, helps me out a lot. Again, leave a comment. If anything you want to see, go ahead and let me know. Until then, I'll see you in the next one. Have a nice day.